Well, I thought I'd just take a quick run around the fence here, see just what it's all going to need. Draining the oil in the tractor right now, so I figured, well, while that drains out what it can, give it time to do that. I'll do this little quick jog. All I'm basically doing is seeing how much I got to cut off. I know there's some limbs I got to go get cut off, and just see if there's any broken posts. Because it's just easier if when I go out here to fix it, if all I got to bring is insulators, and I know that, I don't have to piss around with any posts, which I shouldn't. So, just take a quick ride around here and see what it looks like. Now, like this stretch right here, I know the bottom wire's loose. This won't take much to do that. This stretch of fence here doesn't make a whole lot of difference, because I might be opening this up here yet. This is just a pen behind the old barn, and I tried to bring some dry cows up here in the summer. I didn't get none up here last year, but put a few in here to keep this clean down, and they should be separated out a little bit. But what I want to do, or what I'd like to do, is where I came in the gate over there, there's a couple railroad ties I put in already for corner posts, is to run a wire down to this lower fence, open this up, and get all them dry cows over into here and let them have this patch. It'll be a little more area because there's a few more cows than what should be for this pen, but there's still more than enough for this pen. So, but several of these are going to be freshening pretty soon. So what I want to do right now is get them out of the barn. I'm going to get the dry cows out here to let them have this whole pasture and keep the milk cows in for right now. And once I get some of these fresh, if I get a chance, it won't take much to get that stretch up over there, but to get them over here and then let the milk cows have that half the pasture over there. Now this all up here, all used to be pasture. I forget if it's 35 acres on this side of the road or 40 acres. But there's one or the other here. There's either 35 here and 40 across the road where the fields are, or vice versa. I'm not sure which. But you can barely see it. There's an open area right on top of the hill here. There's this tree line just above it, and there's another opening behind it. It's all goldenrod. Nothing. Cows haven't been up there for years, so it's all starting to grow up. And then the rest of this is all woods and swamp. But they used to have access to all this whole side of the road. Now, since we started feeding them year-round, like I say, they don't go up there anymore. And when I did that grant stuff here back in 2010 or whatever, all this fencing I'm going to check right now was part of that grant. And then, like I said, I told a little bit about it before. Maybe I'll talk about it again in another video. But this fence here is what I put up. It's all 4-strand high tensile wire. But like I said, there's nothing down over here anymore. I mean, this is, oh, there was cow paths through there, but it's all swamp down in there. But yeah, they used to go down this bank and around and through there and go up in there. I've spent many days going up there to chase cows. But I said, just nothing down there anymore for them. It's just more hassle to fix all that fence for nothing. So all this here helps out. But like I said, there's usually nothing much to worry about here. I gotta get the brush cutter and cut this burdocks down. As I say, more or less just making sure the wire's up, because deer do jump through here and they tear up the fence. this is the lane we had put in to cross the creek down there. There was fencing all through this. Geez, that post is busting out. Don't believe them things last a lifetime. But we had to tear all this lane out because one went down through here and then went back up to that neighbor's fence that way. And that one went around that side and went around them open fields up there to the fence. We had to tear this all out because a couple years ago we logged out that upper woods, and this is the only place we could get the log skidder through. But the log skidder, the lane was like 12 foot wide, and his skidder's like 10 foot. So by the time he's dragging logs, he had any room to get through there. So this was all tore out. Here's some of them posts there. I gotta get my brush cutter and cut all this stuff. It'd be easy now that this stuff is dead. I'll pop this right out. That's a question I got. Does anybody know what these damn things are? They say grow about 6 foot tall. When they were green last year, I mean, this was all green. These were like purplish red. And I don't know what this is, or if there's some... They're not really spiny or prickly, but I just brushed the side of my hand. I mean, probably can't see it. That is from touching that last year. And I mean, I just tapped it, just bumped into it. It wasn't like I scraped against or anything. I just tapped into it, and I've had that. I just keep flaking dead skin off of it. It's been itchy and flakes off. And I have no idea what these damn things are. But yeah, like I said, they grow 5-6 foot tall. That's about 5 foot there, 5.5 foot. And these were a purplish red color during the summer. So I don't know what the hell they are, but hey, I sure the hell had a reaction to it. It's still, it ain't that itchy now, but like I said, they had a reaction to it, that's for sure. And actually cutting the stuff off this fence, you know, the briars and stuff, it ain't that big of a deal. Yeah, right there's some staples I need, wires pulled off. But this is set up for having two hot wires. The bottom wire and the third wire are hot. But I disconnected this strand of fence when we did fencing over there. So there's no juice going through this fence right now. That's the only reason I need stuff cut off, because it grounds it out and the fencer won't shock them. But usually 4 strands of wires, not that big of a deal. If they know what the fence is, they usually don't bother that, so it's not that important. And see, that's what I'm looking for. See if the limb came down, broke out a post or anything. That was down sometime last summer, never got cut up, but I gotta get it now. Like I said, this is the main fence I gotta check. This is the property line between me and the neighbors. And probably, oh shit, 25 years ago, he put this fence in. They put railroad ties in for posts and 6 strands of high T fence. He drilled these posts, the railroad tie posts, with a 9600 Ford. And he went down in there with that tractor. I couldn't believe it. He drove that son of a bitch down there, drilled all them. And then, like I say, now they don't have nothing pastured in this pasture. And none of our cows are going down in here anymore. So, and like I say, trees fell on us, ripped this all up. So I ended up cutting the wire off and ended it here, next to the corner post that the guy did the fencing on that grant. Last year I had to do a lot of work to get this straightened out because this was really all busted up. But I don't have a post hole digger big enough to do the railroad ties. I got some I could put in. And so I just put some T-posts in. I gotta get down here and get that rose bush sprayed off. But like I say, all it's got to do is hold the wire up. I mean, every other post could be these T-posts. Just need something so they see it. I wish I could get that limb down, but all this stuff busted out over the winter. That tree's been dead for a while. And that's one good thing, I'm glad thing to see. The fence ain't all tore up. But that tree there is just too damn dangerous to try to cut down. So I don't know, we just gotta let the weather take it down or what, but I gotta get this pulled out of here, knocked down so it doesn't fall on a cow or something. I'll try to get my brother down here to cut this up for firewood. But that's the main thing. That's the main thing I want to see, to make sure that fence was good. And then all that, I put all that fence in and this. And this is what irks me about our government. This was part of that grant too with the septic tank. And the plans called for the fence to come down here. That's a 96-foot spreader pipe, and they had 120 foot. This is a filter area where the wastewater from the milk house drains down and it's supposed to perk its way down through here, and the grasses will absorb the phosphates and, you know, other nutrients that are still in that water and basically filter it. Well, the plan called, I forget how far down this was supposed to go, but basically this fence was supposed to come down and then cut across here. It was like 50, 75 foot from that fence line. This was supposed to come down. Well, I thought, now that's kind of stupid. I mean, this isn't the problem, but I figured, all right, there's no sense to shoot a fence across there and just having this little L shape here. So I brought the fence all the way down, which is no problem. My irk is the plans say it's got to be a substantial fence. Basically, the plans called for that 4-strand high T wire. Okay, and they pay so much a foot. I think it was like 90 cents a foot, maybe $1.10 a foot, whatever it was they were paying for the fencing. I saw no sense. Well, the guy could have done it when he came and done the rest of his fence. That was not the problem. But I thought, you know, what? Don't really need that here. But it said substantial. So I would think T-posts, and there is a 3rd strand, 3 strands of barbed wire, that should be considered substantial. And I don't know if it's because of the T-post or because I didn't do the 4 strands of high T, but they didn't pay me for this fence. I mean, it's minimal. It would have been $200-300. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But to me, that is a substantial fence. That should meet their requirements for the fence this off, because there's supposed to be a gate up there, and I never did get the gate. Well, I did have it, and they broke it, I guess. But you're only supposed to let them in here like once or twice a week, or when it's fairly dry weather, so they don't muddy this all up. So it filters it, but they have the run of it. So